Is DC Universe better than Dragon Ball Z? By a million times not. DC Universe is a trash game full of bums. You get harassed every day, your account's not protected. You own nothing in DC Universe to change whatever they want, do whatever they want. Maps has already destroyed the game, the form destroyed the game. This is what's allowed in DC Universe all day. See, I don't have this problem with Dragon Ball Z. You know, when you win, you win. No one gets mad at you, goes on the other tune, tries to harass you. DC Universe made a trinket where people can harass you. DC Universe is a dumb game. So the question is, the next question is PvP better in Dragon Ball Z than DC Universe? Absolutely. PvP in DC Universe is garbage, trash. When a bum that new to the game can just try to beat you, and when he can't beat you, after all the moves that they make, what they do is allow him to throw barrels at you, which is the dumbest part of the game. Last but not least, the skill point thing in Dragon Ball Z and DC Universe. DC Universe has less skill points than Dragon Ball Z, okay? And in PvP, no one can touch your skill points in Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z Universe is better than DC Universe due to the fact that no one can mess with your skill points. There's no clamping in Dragon Ball Z Universe. So Dragon Ball Z Universe is better because there's no clamping. It's better because there's something that's similar to home turf called Z-Soul, which you can use anytime you want. There's no harassment in Xenoverse. There's a ranking board. There's a ranking system. There's a system where who knows who's the best, who's not the best. There's not a whole bunch of liars out there like there is in DC Universe. Dragon Ball Z's Universe is better because of the moves are better. It's a next generation game. This is an old generation. This is an old game. You know, Dragon Ball Z is a next generation game. It's way better. You know, way more competition, way better graphics. You know, not no forums, not no Meps and Spittle who are fake. You know, I don't really want to say too much bad about Spittle, but I know Meps for sure is trash garbage. You know, adjusted PvP for his friends. You know, when you play Dragon Ball Z, you feel like everything's fair. You won't complain. You don't feel like, for example, there's no unprofessionalism where people are spawning a whole bunch of things in the Watchtower open world. Like, that's unprofessional. That's very unprofessional when they spawn all those ads in the Watchtower. It's very unprofessional when they adjust the game for someone to beat you. When we all know about GM favoritism, whether you want to admit it or not. We all know it occurs. When they want a certain player to beat the next player, they'll go and take away their skill points or adjust them to win or lag them or make them hit for ones. You know, it's really terrible. You don't have that in Dragon Ball Z. There's no such things like that in Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is nothing like that. So when it comes to graphics, moves, parallel quest is what you call PvE, parallel quest. So in the parallel quest, it's way better graphics. I mean, come on, you know, for a quest compared to a raid and alert, you don't lag out, you don't go through so much. The speed is way faster in DC Universe. The loading speed is way faster. DC Universe is just a terribly made game. It is just a terrible game. It is. And, you know, after update 41 made me realize how awful DC Universe was. You know, after update 41, I realized how awful DC Universe was. DC Universe is absolutely awful compared to other. I could not wait until the game came out, which I could play, and it was Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. Thank God it was a Dragon Ball Z game. You know, and a game that had a good story. DC Universe doesn't have a story. Okay, there's this whole bunch of puzzles put together, a whole bunch of crap put together, and it's terrible. It's terrible. For a game that's been out for so long, it's just the way it's been put together is awful. You know, awful. So Dragon Ball Z is better because there's no harassers. That's one. Number two, the PvP is better. The PvE is better. There's no lag in that game. There's no favoritism in that game. There's more skill points. They don't adjust your skill points in PvP because the other person has less skill points. If that person's level 40 or level 30, they're not going to say, oh, you know, we're going to make you level 40 even though you're level 80. We're going to make you level 40, you know? So they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So because of that, DC Universe is the worst game ever. Because the reason why I say it's the worst game ever is due to the fact it's been out so long and had so many attempts, okay? So many attempts at trying to be a good game, you know, so many attempts.